Ooh. Well. Hi, YouTube. Okay, so I just saw that Maximilian posted a video regarding Harada leaving Tekken, I think, or rather a video about Harada talking about Tekken 8. Now, for those who don't know, I'm a casual fan of Tekken. I've been playing Tekken since Tekken 7. Yeah, I know. I kind of knew. Um, I played a lot of Tekken 7. I think easily like in the hundreds of hours. I used to main Loki Chloe. And Tekken 8 Victor Chevalier. Yeah, I really love Tekken 8. It's an enjoyable game. I did not like what they did with the Battle Pass, the implementation of it as a whole, because that immediately destroyed any hopes for the treasure hunt mode in Tekken 7. Because when I say that I play hundreds of hours on Tekken 7, it's mainly because of the treasure hunt mode. So the fact that they added the battle pass, I knew that treasure hunt mode would be axed from this game. It would never show up again in any future installment. Any future games. Sorry, English is not my first language, so I apologize in advance. I'm sorry for that. So yeah, I want to see what's the scoop, and I'm gonna give my opinion at the same time. Shout out to Maximilian, dude. Don't forget to like and subscribe to his channel. This guy deserves it.
Going in. So anyway, I kind of wanted to highlight this before I end the evening. Once again, thanks to Katsuhiro Harada, we have a better understanding of kind of how the Japanese games industry works, because he's pretty candid about how this shit works. Anyway, Harada chose to chime in on a situation that I think is pretty, once again, is validating a lot of the stuff that I've tried to remind people how the game development system works, how things aren't the fault of one individual person. Games are massive developments, and we just had a big conversation talking about this when Nakatsu left Tekken. Someone was talking about how the balancing of Tekken 8 has been moved and led by specifically Yasuyuki Nakabayashi, which I think was like a co-director of Tekken 8. He doesn't have a social media presence, but he sure knows his stuff, since he's behind the balancing of Tekken 5 DR and Tekken 6 to a degree. Tekken's in good hands, saying that all of the recent balancing is because this guy who was on the Tekken team, they're the reason why it's good. Harada is getting one guide here, but he does offer a pretty good explanation. Check this out. So, small
Oh boy, small explanation. A small clarification? My god. Sure.
That was done in this update has been work in progress since last year, and what is currently being delivered is the result of a long-running effort. And anyone who has worked in game development will tell you and understand the timeline that it's not just debugging in QA. There are first-party certification and approval processes involved. Yes, like things take a long goddamn time. Like the effort that was put into here is an effort. People are so recency biased that they think that like, oh, what's happening right now is good. The people that I am thinking about in the moment are reflective of it. No, dude, like, game development takes so goddamn long, and there's so many moving parts that you're not even thinking. They've been working on this shit forever. They know the DLC characters 2 years before the game's even release date. So about a year ago, he made this post, which is probably pretty interesting, to say that 8 was a challenging game in some aspects.
Yeah, DLC 2 years in advance, and yet they didn't manage to get Tifa on it. What 2 years ago? What did Square Enix plan was 2 years ago when they were like? Because I bet that Bandai Namco like decided to have a talk with Square Enix about Tifa implementation. I bet they did had a discussion regarding Tifa for Tekken 8. I bet, and I wonder what was the reason behind Square Enix decision saying no. But here, take Clive, because you already had a sword guy in Tekken 7, which was Noctis. So weird. They could have given us Clown. I mean, Clive. Actually, no, I get it. Because they did the same thing with Street Fighter 6 recently. I get it. Never mind. It's all about timing. Like, FF16 came out like FF16 was a recent game during the time that Tekken 8 was there, so they must have had talks and say, listen, we're developing Final Fantasy 16, so we would like to have more like people to engage with our characters. So here we're gonna give you Clive and roll with it. Advertisement.
The new team for battle tuning. We have returned to the team structure of members of the past. This is talking about what happened during season 2, right? They went back to their old development team, then the new one. The direction of this patch update was actually led by Nakatsu, who just recently left. And at the same time, the other director that you mentioned, Nakabayashi, who was also deeply involved with the direction, because there's multiple people running the ship, and Mishima Star, right? The reality is that they spent the past year working towards this release. And this update became the final work they delivered before leaving the company. So, a big reveal, Nakatsu, which we knew, but Nakabayashi and Mishima Star all left Bandai Namco, which is all pretty telling news that this company is going through some shit. And at this point, this should go without saying, but not only for this update, the results of the product that you're playing in...
I wonder where they're gonna finish. Are they gonna end up in SNK with Harada? If so, this is gonna be like another Kojima production 2.0 situation, huh? Or are they gonna go? Are they gonna go like in another route? Like, where could they go? Because they've been involved in Tekken for a while now, right? So, their best bet would be like either SNK with Harada, which is a kick in the nuts, or they could go with Capcom, which is another kick in the nuts, or they could end up in Square Enix. I don't know, like the DMC guy from Capcom. We don't know.
Many projects are working, many project members working incredibly hard. Even if their names are not known, because they're not the faces. I literally just talked about it, that people blame the faces that they see. People think that Ono made Street Fighter. People think that like this
Harada
guy does this because that's the face that you associate with it.
Yeah.
Instead of ignoring the absolute massive credits list. Sakurai made all of Smash, my dude. Thank you, God, Sakurai. Ignoring the entire Bandai Namco development team that made Smash Brothers. Because of that, I hope people will evaluate these achievements as the work of a team rather than focusing on individual names.
That is true.
I don't think there is much value in studying the credits and trying to attribute every intricate thing to specific individuals. I also see a variety of speculation and analysis from this community. Unfortunately, most of it is just not accurate, and I don't mean just this particular topic. In fact, the directors whose names you mentioned, including Nakabayashi, is it Nakabayashi? Yes.
No, you had it right. You had it right.
Left the project and began new journeys on their own. There are also
on their own. Okay, that
answers
answers my question.
Things based on their supposed knowledge of the game industry, and unfortunately, most of these explanations are just not accurate. Pretty much going back to the fact that this all started from somebody kind of targeting specific individuals as the root cause of their grievances. We see this happen with Tetsuya Nomura a lot in Final Fantasy, especially at Square Enix. Specifically targeting one individual for their grievances with an entire franchise or a game, or alluding that other people are directly responsible for things being good and or bad, instead of a team. A lot of people are working on this shit. So anyway, this is simply just factual clarification and nothing more, nothing beyond that. So Harada just clearing the air that like, hey, no, you stupid shit. This is not how things work behind the scenes, and these things do not come down to one individual person. They are a team, and they make these choices like as a collective. He goes on to answer some other stuff. So it takes a year to release a tiny, borderline insignificant patch. What's the timeline for a slightly bigger patch? 2 years. All right, Harada goes in. Since I assume that you're just not familiar with game development, it is understandable that it may be difficult to grasp. Let me break this down a little bit and some context on my previous post, though I will appreciate a little bit more reading comprehension. The restructuring happened a year ago, and That does not mean that this particular update took an entire year to develop. Even though I said that the work on this update began last year, that does not mean that it started exactly 1 year ago. Mentioned before, this update is simply one of the many updates and pieces of additional content that Nikatsu and Nakabayashi had been continually working on in parallel. Some of them may have started on as early as November, December of last year, while others likely began development in January or February. Some people, looking at the timing of Nikatsu and Nakabayashi's departure, also state that making this rather strange assumption that they had nothing to do with it. So I added clarification that they in fact did. They were the ones that executed this final update before leaving the company. This wasn't the only point I was making, you dumb bitch. More importantly, some people seem pretty eager to pick out individual devs rather than and build a narrative around those individuals with assumptions and judgments. That is not really the way to look at any game development at all. Games are made by teams rather than focusing on specific...
Yeah, so if you're going to blame... In other words, if you're going to blame someone, blame the whole team, not just one person. If somebody has to take the bullet, it's everybody, not just one. Understood, guys? Tetsuya Nomura is not the only one at fault here when it comes to Kingdom Hearts or Final Fantasy. It's most of the team. Everybody who works on the side quests, the story, the main quests, all those teams. You gotta blame them if you think that your story sucks and your pacing of side quests suck or whatever. Don't just blame Nomura for this. I mean, granted, he ain't innocent either.
Individuals, I would appreciate if it was evaluated on a team as a whole. Don't blame one person, blame everybody. I also pointed out that many of the assumptions and conclusions that people reach are frankly really off the mark. Depending on the topic, a surprising amount of speculation I see is just inaccurate.
Oh,
Before
nice.
posting conclusions based on assumptions, it is worth taking a moment to think them through. That is essentially what my previous post was explaining, having broken it down this far. Harada is straight up to the moon and sick of seeing his co-workers and a lot of other people thrown under the bus directly. This mostly boils down because, and not just Tekken 8, like we've seen this happen with Square Enix, we've seen this happen with a variety of developers that are the faces of projects.
Todd Howard.
Game. Oh, it's this guy's fault, this is bad.
Yes,
it always
Starfield.
boils down to some, we need to get angry at somebody.
Yep.
And it can't be a general collective, it's gotta be a Nomura, it's gotta be a Harada, it's gotta be a Mike Murray, it's gotta be a Nakatsu, it's gotta be some shit, right? We need to get mad at someone. We got to get them out of here because they're ruining this shit. It's somebody's fault directly, you know?
Yep.
And Harada is just so sick of it, dude. He just absolutely hates this shit because it is just not representative of any reality.
No, because sometimes the blame goes even higher than just the development, the developers. It's sometimes it's the company itself, the CEO, the stockholders. They're the one who makes the final decision at the end. They're the one who wants the money. They're the one who wants this to be more commercialized. They want the easy way out when it comes to profits and everything. So sometimes it's not even the devs, the dev team, the issue. I bet the dev team didn't care about the battle pass, but they had to because Bandai Namco wanted that money. I bet it's so like okay, when it comes to Tekken 8 aggressive style of gameplay, yeah, you can blame that on the team. Battle Pass, obviously, you blame that on Bandai Namco.
Decisions are not made by individuals directly. There's no, like, king calling the shots all the time. If anything, the one thing that you can focus anger towards is a team. Like, this team made a bad decision on this thing, right? Not one individual person. The way that this was handled was not good. Instead of being, God damn you piece of shit individual, this is bad because of you, he's saying your energy should better be focused on the fact that we made this decision as a team and we fucked up. And they acknowledge that they fucked up before and they had to work at it. This is why usually, chat, if there is a moment and an opportunity for me to be like, we're really big pissed and big mad at this, and honestly it's happening right now, who is the general focus and direction that I like to give you in most of these situations if we don't know exactly where this stuff is happening? it usually is from the higher ups. It's from like Bandai Namco. Shit is clearly fucked up at B&E right now. Like, there's some bad shit going down behind the scenes of how this stuff is happening. And Bandai Namco Entertainment, the executives that run this shit, the head honchos that are responsible for all the money and all the distribution and all the profitability, I personally feel, as we've seen this happen time and time again, this shit is also fucking up Tekken pretty hard. And
Like I just said that it's beyond the dev team. It's the higher ups, the one who wants the money, the profit. They could care less about the dev team. They could care less about Harada leaving or the other ones leaving. They will just grab other people from other studios or grab promote other people, and they'll listen. They'll be yes men's. I mean, and it sucks because I really did love Tekken 8. I stopped playing that game because I wasn't that good. I wasn't that good, but at the same time, there wasn't much else to do. Because, funny enough, fighting games has a big issue when it comes to single player mode. I know that fighting games, just as much as FPS games, are always mainly multiplayer focus. But there's some people like me who likes to dabble on the single player mode. Like, I'm sorry. Like, another fighting game, Blaze Blue Continuum Shift 2 Extended. There's like an Abyss mode that I used to dabble on a lot. Like, there's a lot of things that people would love to do in single player mode. Like, look at the background of Maximilian, dude. Soul Calibur 2. I mean, the biggest thing they had was Weapon Master, and that's a mode that everybody kept asking for. Soul Calibur 3, 4, 5. They brought it back in 5. Wait, no, they brought it back at Soul Calibur 6. My bad. It wasn't as good, but they brought it back because they know the fan wants some single player content. Single player content in fighting games is important. It's not essential, but it is important.
And it has come to a head where now even the people that run Tekken and love Tekken and have been doing this shit for 20 to 30 years are all peacing out and we're making our own company. Yeah, it's pretty freaking obvious where our focus should be, and it's the fact that shit is going down at Bandai Namco right now. Instead of just getting mad at individual developers that also have to deal with corporate breathing down their necks. The only other opportunities where I will offhandedly say bad things about certain individuals in the industry, like Yuji Naka and Ono and stuff like that, just beating a dead horse, is because there are stories that you hear for years that these people aren't good. A lot of bad things that have happened to projects have been because of personal emotions of people tied to shit, just dragging it into the ground, just dragging shit into the mud. And there is no chance of there being any future of this stuff when some of these people are involved. It's oh my god, dude. And you can only hear about that from secondhand folks that you personally know, where it's yeesh, man. We already have one person, so Harada continues. We already have one person doing exactly that, making comments based on assumptions and their own interpretations of things I never even said or mentioned. Keywords I never brought up and things I never actually said. That was exactly the point I was making. This kind of speculation tends to be completely off the mark, so let's just avoid it. Still, most people seem to have understood what I meant correctly, so I suppose that's fine. He's right. Games are not made by one person. It's the same thing in movies, dude. Anything that has a larger development that requires a lot of involvement and a lot of people, there is a lot of places you can focus your aggression towards that aren't specifically individuals and shit.
Oh yeah, but just like in games, most of the times the people who get blamed are the directors. When there's a script written by, there's a lot of people in the team, and yet it's always the director. It's always Rian Johnson, but unless he also wrote the script for Jedi Star Wars, The Last Jedi. Is that the name of the episode 8? I don't remember. People tend to blame the directors all the time. It's not just the directors. It's also the people who wrote the script.
Especially if shit goes south. So busy sifting through resumes to beat out all the developers. You're probably saying this as a joke, but if I reflect on what actually happened at the time, this is how it went. I assume you're referring to the situation where initially a Tekken character's chest didn't move at all, but as development neared the end, some physics code was secretly added when I wasn't looking, and it turned out that a certain designer and programmer had quietly slipped that chest movement into the final ROM? What the fuck? As for
Wait,
that
what?
episode, did I actually get mad at the developers who added the physics afterwards?
Wait, so Harada like initially didn't want a certain character to have a chess physics for one's particular character or characters. Oh, okay. He's not like he's not. It's not like the people at the DOA.
Dissatisfied or think they should be removed? No. That's exactly what I refer to it as a fun anecdote of the past. In reality, people hearing one thing and they just spin some absolute insane narrative in their head. We appreciate the fact that they wanted to express their creativity in a way, and I personally value such proactive developers, so it's a good memory, but I appreciate them to the end, and they're still my good comrades. Trying to take some twisted thing and turn it into an entire narrative that doesn't line up with any kind of reality at all. Thank you, Harada. You also an OG and you're a real one. I can only wish you the best in your future endeavors. Trying to add actual perspective and bring people down to earth when it comes to some of this shit, because it's so much more interesting if you can just build an idea in your head of what it is and just go with that instead of hearing what the developers are actually saying and doing. Going off on wild tangents and shit and targeting individuals directly as a focus of your ire of why you don't like things. I just hate
because they want approval for the headcanon. They don't want to be they don't want to take accountability for their actions.
it, man. It's hostile projection, yes. It's mostly
Oh yeah, it is projection. Well, that was a nice video. Yeah, so well, good to know that Harada came into the field and cleared things up and made people realize that, listen, if you're gonna blame somebody, don't just blame one person, blame the whole team or blame the higher ups, because it's not really somebody, one person will make the final decision for everything. Sometimes it's above their pay grade. Well, that was a nice video. Anyways, that was a good video. I'm really sad what happened to Tekken 8. Oh my god. I don't know what they're gonna do with Tekken 9. I wish the team the best, man. It's not their fault. Yeah, it's kind of is their fault, but not all of it, and it really sucks. It really sucks.